said, we are ready to rock and or roll, and I presume Twitch chat's ready as well. So,
oh yeah.
Without further ado, let's get it on with the deciding ace game of the very first episode of the Factional Showdown. I keep forgetting what it's bloody called. It's a new concept in Company of Heroes 2. And we've got VonIvan versus Noggano.
Absolutely. And I don't know, it's got a good ring to it. Factional Showdown. It's got everything you need for a title. Little bit of a showdown. Sort of like one of my favorite cartoons when I was a kid was Shaolin Showdown. You know, it had like a bunch of kids doing kung fu and stuff like that on the WB. Did y'all get the WB by any chance in the UK? It had like Animaniacs and even Yu-Gi-Oh! I think sometimes. It was like Saturday morning cartoons and stuff.
Excellent. So we've got... Sorry, I wasn't listening to you. Yeah. I heard something about Animaniacs or something. I have no clue.
Did you have that? You're like, yes.
No, I was busy thinking about this fantastic competitive game we have in front of us today. This is a deciding ace game. This is for 20 Great British pounds. It's not. I know that's probably it's about $25 US for you. But it's more about pride, honour, and respect, because these two guys are two of the greatest Company of Heroes 2 players you've ever damn well seen. You've got VonIvan, the American. He's playing against the Brits. His not very well favoured Brits, because both of these guys signed up as Wehrmacht in this Factional Showdown. And what have we seen from the Wehrmacht players so far, Ashman?
We've seen only good things. We've seen Noggano play plenty well during his first round. He struggled a little bit as Brits, but that's just the strength of Wehrmacht, I think, in this matchup. He is now playing again as the dominant faction of the day, and I mean, I have nothing but strong predictions for the guy. Really, all eyes are on VonIvan at the moment, and having to make something. Suffering a little bit of extra DPS in order to build this trench, maybe a good idea, maybe a bad idea. Grid cover absolutely necessary for these Tommies to perform well. This map really isn't that good for Tommies, I'd say, from what we've seen. There's just not enough green cover, lots of wide open space. It's very good for sniper play, but it's only as good as your sniper micro can manage. And Wehrmacht's sniping has been absolutely just dominant.
Great analysis there, Ashman. I completely agree. One thing I will point out is that VonIvan's had a very defensive stance so far. He's had the Vickers watching over the cutoff, and he's built a trench on this anchor point over here. So he's all about trying to keep his own standpoints in this game.
I think that Vickers was maybe trying to get to the house. Gren's got in it a little bit sooner. He's playing a very good game of popping in, popping out, not taking extra damage that he doesn't need to. I have a feeling that this Flamer is teching flames. Excuse me, this Pioneer's teching flames, and he is, and they are good. Taking huge shots at that Vickers, which is very flimsy. It's a glass cannon of an MG, and if he doesn't retreat it quick and get his micro in gear, he could lose it.
Vickers is getting out of there. However, we do also have VonIvan with the ability to upgrade flamethrowers, which is not like Brits. Of course, they are usually without flamethrowers. And he does have the commander that allows him to get it, so it's going to be an interesting one. However, he really doesn't want to stick it out here. What's he doing with this Royal Engineer, VonIvan? Get out of there. There you go.
Very close. He seems to be a little bit more away time. It's just probably looking at all these units and saying, you know, Vickers heavy machine gun team.
What does this button do?
Yeah.
Okay, you can build a little trencherino. Okay.
That's great. A little trencherino. Now, he did get into the house with no windows over on the side, but Von doesn't seem to remember that. And retreats that Vickers, which would have done excellent damage to those Grens inside there. So maybe a bit of a misplay.
Supply line's been cut.
Okay, we've got Gren squad pushing up. We've got the sniper in position. We've got Noggano already looking for an early game lead here. And VonIvan's got to figure out fast what he wants to do. He's resetting up on the western flank, and that's a pretty damn good idea. One thing he needs to be aware of for the late game, even though we know he's not going to be, because he's going to get flamers on all these Royal Engineers, is this Telemine here. So it's going to be a big bite in the arse later on.
Yeah, and there is something to notice. As we've seen a lot of heavy Royal Engineer flame play, we haven't seen too many sweepers, and they're absolutely necessary. it's very hard. Von trying to play a faction he's not used to and keep his mind on the ball with things like Teller Mines is absolutely a tall order. Though the Royal Engineers are very close, they're going to do a lot of close-range damage. Grenadiers getting the best of the RNG on this one, though. Could go either way.
Here we go, he's pushing away the sniper. He's going for the cutoff, but Noggano's got him covered. He's backpedaling with the sniper. He's not on... Oh, yeah, he eats a big shot there, and he's now lost the cutoff. Could actually lose a Grenadier here. Will the Tommies focus? They focus now. Negative cover ends very momentarily. There you go. He's now safe.
Close call. And, you know, there is still a little bit of red cover on this 1.1 map, version of Crossroads. It's further up the road.
Yeah, that's right.
It is there. And I think it's only for the north side. No, just kidding.
No,
it's on the south
the
side.
roads
too.
all have negative cover except for the base exits. It's to allow the players to get back into the game and get out of their own base sectors, which is novel.
It's important. It's good. Royal Engineers walk right past Grenadiers.
And hide behind the logs like, bloody hell, lads, did you see what that was? Germans shooting at us. Let's hide behind these logs.
It's like, who was that guy? Do you know him? Yeah, I slept with your wife last night. I was upset. Anyway.
Tommy's here inside the trench, but they're up against two enemies of the trench. That's the flamethrower and the sniper. VonIvan really doesn't want to stick it out here. He could actually be losing this squad if he stays here. He gets out, retreats instantly. However, there's a Grenadier on a retreat who could focus him.
Yeah, playing a lot better today. It seems like Von is at least getting the left side. It's really important, I think, for the British player to keep his eye on the left side. It's somewhere where he can't get cut off. He can roll out of the base a little bit easier. There's no big structure sitting there. And so far, Noggano has not gone for an MG, so it's not been as easy for him to get the MG pin. Vickers dangerously low, retreating through the south, about to run into red cover. Gren's decide to move, though. Maybe a bit of a misplay for Noggano this time, and the Vickers gets home safe.
Elsewhere, you've got the M2 flamethrowers of the Royal Engineers, keeping the Grenadiers at bay. However, there's now two Grenadiers, so their days are numbered in keeping the western flank.
Yeah, those Royal Engineers are definitely overextended. Gonna want to get out of there. It's just a shame. He may be just stalling out so he can keep that fuel point for as long as possible. Von does not want to get into a fuel deficit, which we've seen has been the death of the British players so far this game. Prioritizing fuel might be much more important than prioritizing VPs at this point.
We all know how great a player VonIvan is. He's not factionally bound. He's gotten his best successes, yes, as with Soviet. But we've all seen that when he's on top of his form with those big pushes, he can make amazing things happen in Company of Heroes too. But he needs to get into a position where he can make those big pushes. He needs to make these small wins and keep his preservation high to get to that position. And that's what you want to see from him in this game.
Yeah, Mad Dog Kappa Claws tactics are non-doctrinal, my friend. Factionless. They can be used at any time with any faction, and we'll see how well he can pull it off with this very alien faction to him, Brits.
It's almost like he's been given a copy of Company Heroes 3 in 20 years' time, and he's playing for the very first time with a faction he's not familiar with. Of note, there's an M6 mine there. Still keep your eye on that Teller mine there for the later game viewers, and we'll see what happens with that one. But look at this map control now from Von. He's starting to branch out, and this is a big test for him because this can lead to squad wipes the more you branch out.
Yeah, and has Von gone for a sniper this game?
He has not.
Yeah, this is interesting. So deciding to go for a much more mobile army, 4 Royal Engineer squads. This time he's absolutely going to be able to have a lot stronger field presence. And I mean, if you look at the map, Von's actually got more map control.
Great play by Von. He's hit it into that gear we know he's capable of. The VonIvan zone, where he suddenly starts to play as we all want him to. This sniper's got a difficult retreat path all the way along the bushes. Will he get focused? Yes, he will, but it's too little too late, and the sniper gets away.
Yeah, Tommy's just are trash whenever they're not in cover and able to catch things on retreat like that. But, you know, that's another way to get snipers. I may have spoken too soon, as I mentioned earlier, that really all you can do is get the UC or go for your own sniper. Spamming Royal Engineer seems to actually be a viable strategy here. He can push up past the lines, and I think it was a mistake, a misplay by Noggano to not go for an MG42 this game.
This could be the first game that we see the Cromwell And the Panzer IV at the very first time, or the Wehr, as Ashman calls it.
Absolutely. It's going to come out soon. Nagano's getting no resource in, though, and he's still a good ways off on his fuel to getting that Panzer IV.
We did just momentarily have no resources from territories for Noggano. This is a massive turnabout. Noggano, who's looked so fierce as Wehrmacht all day in this mini tournament, but VonIvan is pegging him back and starting to look really strong as Ashman rightly says, alien faction to the American player.
I mean, I'm gonna be real. I'm stunned. I did not see this coming. I was almost pretty much ready to write VonIvan dead to rights, but we're seeing a real competition in this last game. Noggano really trying to make something happen. His sniper has been good, but not great. He's got 16 kills to his name, so he's been bleeding. But as you pointed out earlier, Royal Engineers are cheap. They're easy to reinforce. And with these flame upgrades, they're actually quite fearsome.
Yes, they are. It allows you to have much greater field presence. This commander also loses great stuff in the late game, and he needs to get out of this building. Come on, VonIvan. He's not even queued, and he loses the MG. That's as Von Kluger said in comments. VonIvation. It's VonIvan preservation, or lack thereof.
Well, it seems to have not worked out for him. That is the first wipe of the game. And a big one, because that Vickers was definitely keeping that zone of the map firmly under Von's control. Now he's going to have to use just the Royal Engineers and the Tommies to be able to keep this pressure that he's given this whole game. Just a little bit of flames can do a whole lot.
Yeah, who would have thought if a flamethrower burns a house for 10 seconds with an MG inside? It's crazy.
You know?
Oh, what's this? We now have Ashman's mum on camera for a brief moment there.
What do you got? Webcam going on? Oh my god, you...
I got two screens, baby. Sniper on the retreat from the Royal Engineers pushing there.
That almost looked like that sniper was going to get a fist of flames, but he was just awake long enough to get out of there. It seemed like a close one. Cromwell teching. Big ol' LMG blob over on the left side. Gonna get a rifle grenade. Losing a whole lot of health. Von does get out of there just in time. These poor Tommies are going to have to deal with a whole lot of Germans, though.
They are indeed.
Though they're getting cut off. When you cut off one head, Von pops out another.
Never seen one entity deal with so many Germans as that time I found one of my dad's videos.
Whoa. This is not a relic stream.
No,
we can say whatever we want.
You can make veiled kind of references to pornography if you keep it subtle. Surely.
Well, before you use the word pornography. Yeah.
Oh god, I've ruined it. Anyway, then we've got some great action from three flamethrower squads that retreat in unison for some reason. The sniper is finally getting the cutoff back. Sniper, by the way, with 21 kills.
Yeah, we got the Cromwell, and as you rightly pointed out...
Oh, squad wipe! Oh, so close.
Dangerous stuff. Flirting with disaster. That Cromwell is going to be a huge problem, although the pack is preemptively made. Noggano is prepared. And we do need to keep an eye out for that Teller mine by going for 4 flamers. Ooh, gonna get a Faust.
We are going to get a Faust. It is going to work out. We could go for the Crushwell. Is he going to be able to get it? Pack is now in his sights. Damaged engine, though. He's going to trundle around, and he may be easy pickings for the anti-tank gun. His only chance is to decrew the members. 2 more squad members to go. Oh, missed on the second shot.
That's a bad miss. He's going to back up and try his luck at getting away.
Oh, he gets it! He saves it. However, the Sturmgeschütz is in the build. He's in a race against time to reverse away.
Yeah, I would say it's probably about 15 seconds away. Shooting some smoke. Good idea.
Nice.
Still, the Grens are going to come up and give excellent vision. He needs to backpedal that thing as far away as possible. This is going to be a really rough time. Stug is just going to surge onto this battlefield and try to get that tank.
Oh, here come the cavalry, though. The Brits are coming. And they're... a mine go off on that Pioneer there. The Brits are coming in and they're in force and they're going to try and save the Cromwell's life. We've had the Sturmgeschütz taken out of the build because it was too late. It was a reactionary Sturmgeschütz and it's now been replaced with a Panzer Wehr. So there you go.
That's smart and worked to Vaughn's, Vaughn's favor. He's got that thing pretty much pulled far away, hugging the very fringes of the map, and probably going to make it back safe and sound. So close call. He did manage to wipe the pack, deal some good manpower bleed. And kind of getting back to, I guess, what I was saying earlier, by going for 4 flamers, there are no sweeper squads for VonIvan. So I have a prediction again that these 2 teller mines, I think there are 2, yeah. No, just kidding, an M6 and a teller. So gonna need to be careful. But a second Cromwell is here. The cavalry, as A said, is here, and gonna be a direct matchup for the freshly made Panzer IV rolling on the left side.
Absolutely. We've now got a Pack 40 and a Panzer IV versus 2 Cromwells in the overall tank meta. So it's a lot of parity, and just like that previous game, this game has a lot of legs, and it's got a lot of excitement, a lot of entertainment still in today's tournament left to go, as we've got these 2 behemoths of the KO2 scene going at it. The North American United States citizen VonIvan versus the Eastern European Russian Federation citizen Noggano in a battle, a duel to the death.
Whoa. Well, I've watched a couple. Ooh, about to hit that mine. No, that's his own mine.
Yep.
I have watched a couple of your streams, Mr. AE, and I tell you, this sounds exactly like one of your
Streams. It's because
Rocky,
I'm the same person.
Rocky analogies. Because we got a Russian, we got an American. It's the championship.
I must break you. Push it to the limit. Don't let. Oh, we've got a Cromwell. I don't know why I thought it was a squad wipe. So sorry. It just, the dust went up and it went into the unit icon's face.
Absolutely. A little bit of a lightning icon came up there. And Pack is going to screen away this Cromwell. It feels like almost a mirror of the game we just watched. 1 Cromwell up against 2 Panzer IVs. Now we have 1 Panzer IV up against 2 Cromwells.
And more soon to be 2 Pack 40s. So I really don't think that VonIvan has the overall advantage anymore. He did for a moment, and he's definitely. This game has parity. They're both in it. However, he's not decisively in a lead anymore. In fact, if you look at the population cap, Noggano has actually creeped ahead.
He's doing well, and I believe we must have missed somewhere. There was a Royal Engineer squad that went down.
Ah, never mind. They're only Welsh. Nobody cares about the Welsh. They're barely even human.
People in the US don't even know what they are.
It's a country.
That's
of course
right.
you don't know what it is.
It's got like a dragon on it. We think that's cool.
I like it. I like it. Very
You
funny.
know, I bet if I went on the streets in New York and I asked people what are
The
the
Welsh.
4 kingdoms of the UK, people would not know.
I bet they'd know what the countries of Westeros were, though. You know, in Game of Thrones. I think
Westeros.
people would be more likely to know the countries of Westeros. Oh god, you don't watch Game of Thrones, do you?
You know, I really want to.
It's not
I've been
hard.
itching. It's probably not.
Alright, we've got the Tommies pushing against the Pack 40, pushing it away. The Cromwell's getting into position. Smoke was laid down by the mortar, which was interesting. Well, not mortar, sorry, by the vehicle
I
crew
guess
repairs
it was
there.
mortar. Yeah, there is no mortar actually. Yeah.
Vehicle
Okay.
crew repairs, yeah. It's going on twice. Ah, because it happened here for that repair, it happened elsewhere. So there you go. That's what just happened. And it actually worked offensively. So that is one OP damn ability, if you ask me.
I mean, that's a lot of smoke. That looks like, you know, H3H3 Vape Nation on the right side there.
Yeah, that's...
If people know what I'm talking about.
That's Ashman on a Tuesday evening.
Whoa.
Smoke weed every day. Kind of thing.
That's right. Snoop Dogg and me have a good time.
Oh, God. That's the second Call of Duty montage and that kind of reference we've had in this video.
I should bust out Sony Vegas. Make one of those.
The Cromwells all getting into position. VonIvan starting to feel leery. However, he's come up against a hard front of the Wehrmacht.
I gotta say, RNG has not been on the side of VonIvan. That's 2 misses in a row for the Panzer IV. And a little earlier, it was a bounce on top of the Cromwell armor. So these Panzer IVs have really struggled to get any veterancy and to really make an impact. Panzer
Cromwell
IVs,
finds
yeah.
this Panzer IV. We now have 3 Cromwells on the field. No Firefly. 3 Cromwells. He's going for a big push in the late game, VonIvan. You can see what he's thinking. He's thinking, these Cromwells are pretty good. I'm going to build 3 and go all in.
Veterancy 2 gets
Yeah, exactly.
targeting and rate of fire.
He's probably got the Code 2 guide up on his second monitor. There we go, pack 40 finds a Cromwell. Croms are all going in. He's going in just as we speak about it.
Whoa.
There is another pack in the rear, though. That might take out this Cromwell. He's going for it, though. The Panzer IV doesn't know what's going to hit it. He goes in front of the pack, gets shot at. Panzer IV goes down. Cromwell still alive. Will he keep them alive? Tommy's in position. Ashman, what do you see, son?
It's real close. I mean, we got Cromwells going on the edge, ducking innately made stone walls. Does get to wipe one pack. It seems like the Grenadiers there managed to get a Faust off, but I'd say maybe on the wrong Cromwell. And that pack is just way too far away to be able to
Oh, Tommy's get assassinated, though. So for all the good he did, he's only drawn level there, even though it was an amazing push. He's just drawn level. And in fact, Noggano, now he's recruited his pack, is back in the lead in terms of pop cap. But it was still good. And you'll notice vehicle crew repairs means we're now going to have a Vape Nation smoke weed everyday party over here.
Yeah, they'll be recruited in no time. I would say that was a good trade. 1 Tommy for a Panzer IV. But if you just look at VonIvan's capping potential at the moment, it's really lacking. It's going to be really hard for him to get and, well, I guess maintain this very large territory that he's secured for himself. So he is getting another Royal Engineer. That is smart. But with 1 Tommy, only 1 healing squad, he's going to be playing at a little bit of a disadvantage against 4 very well vetted up Grenadiers on the side of Noggano.
Excellent.
It's a close one. And I would like to mention that there was a very well-laid teller mine that was over in that area where all those Cromwells were running around. One managed to skirt just around it and not get it. That engagement could have been completely different.
Holy crap, he's going to get it now, though. Is he?
Oh, maybe Caster's Curse. He's standing right in front of it. This pack actually might spook
Could
it
kill
away.
his Tommy as well. That'd be so funny. No, he's going to push it away with the packs. The pack wall is in full force. Elsewhere in the east, the Cromwells are pushing up there, just ensuring that Noggano does not take that central victory point. And you will notice that VonIvan is actually in a healthy lead now of 100 victory points.
He is. And he's got 3 Cromwells. I mean, there's a Stug that's now been called in for Noggano. So this time, it is absolutely the right call, I guess. It would take a little bit too long to tech up to tier 4. I guess he decided to opt for that. It's just too difficult. He did manage to recrew his pack, so he's got a formidable anti-tank force. But these things have been known to push, and he is rolling the dice, trying to dodge around unseen mines.
So the sniper of Noggano now has 34 kills, and that's a hell of a lot. If you consider how much one of those Royal Engineers costs, and double check that when he gets back into base.
Oh boy, Stug rolling up, trying to fire through the house, but the brick walls on that, I was about to say something I didn't want to, are too strong to allow the shells to fire through.
So that's 34 times 20. That's 680 manpower the sniper's killed. So he's paid for himself and then basically destroyed a sniper's worth of manpower, which is really good going. And he's unmitigated. There's no Brit sniper on the field. No counter.
Yeah. It's going to be rough. I don't think it would be wise to try and tech for a sniper this late into the game. And I count currently 3 teller mines, all kind of forming a nice little border between Noggano and VonIvan's forces. So he really, it's only a matter of time.
It's the Bermuda Triangle. Your tank goes into it, you look away, and think, where the hell did my tank go?
That's right. You're in a daze. Your crew members are shocked. The packs are hitting your walls. You're about to go up and fire and do a nice little cannonball out the front like they did in that other explosion with the Universal Carrier
Pioneer
on the right
could be going
side.
down.
Yeah.
Does not.
Ooh. Narrow miss. Very low health. It is a
Universal
flamer.
Carrier, by the way.
Earlier, that big explosion with the Universal Carrier had the dude jump out of it.
Oh, it was amazing, yeah. Did that happen
I
on your
loved it.
screen then as well?
Oh yeah, man.
I had a double jump. It was so
sight to
cool.
I love this game. I mean, for the very nicely made set pieces, the great sound effects, great shot through the hedge there.
Yeah, that was cool. I love those shots through the head. Look how close he is to that tower as well. If he reversed over it, that would be heinous.
Yeah.
Fourth
Be pretty
Cromwell in
heinous.
the build. He's going for it. Stug is in the field though. The warrior of the steppe. Is able to find shots that other vehicles can't. There's two of them. It's a Imperial Dane's wet dream.
Whoa, getting a nice M6 mine to the face. That Grenadier's gonna wait and VP dominance in this game. It seems though, in my mind, Noggano has the more well-rounded build. We have a very explosive 4 Cromwell build out of VonIvan, but Noggano does have an answer to it and a stronger infantry force. So Von has one major push in him to be able to get this game and maybe even win it, but he'll have to really go up against a very strong force from Noggano.
He's got such
really,
a great composition. VonIvan's gone for a single-minded composition, and that composition is all about trying to get that big all-in push. And he's got to watch out for the trifecta of the telemines. I really think that could be his downfall. He doesn't
There's
have...
actually 4.
Wow, where's
the 4th one, he's about to run into it. It's right next to the house.
Oh yeah, I counted that one. So the triangle
really?
actually extends further then. There's 4 in total.
Oh yeah, there's one on the road near the cutoff point. Good pack shot coming in on the Cromwell, but if you see, it's kind of getting that little cut off like avenue between the small house and the hedge.
I mean, big plaudits to VonIvan though. He's somehow got into this game on an alien faction to him. Brits. He's playing against one of the greatest Company Heroes players franchise ever in Noggano, and he's doing damn well. You know, it's 27 minutes in.
Maybe we'll see the guy play more Brits, cap applause.
Possibly.
Taking a big rifle grenade to the face are the newly upgraded Tommy squads. That anti-tank ability will definitely be a good counter to these Stugs. It might even be a good idea to save up some manpower and get another Tommy or another Royal Engineer squad and equip it with some AT.
Most of the action's here on the east at the moment. The Royal Engineers pushing out. They're against the Stug and the Pack 40, which are almost tempting the Cromwell onto its position, but they have been spotted. So that's what Noggano's trying to do. He's trying to lay traps for the Cromwells and pick them off one by one.
Yeah, it's starting to seem like a slowly encroaching force. There's just a whole lot to contend with. And PopCap-wise, they're fairly even, but again, Noggano has the advantage. I think VonIvan is just waiting to pull the trigger. Maybe if he goes very far to the left or very far around the right, he will avoid any kind of chance of running into some mines, playing a safer push. But right now, he's playing very defensively. He's getting a 5th Cromwell. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to see one hell of a British push.
Christ, that's going to be absolutely brutal. We do...
Get the highlight reel ready.
We've got Blitzkrieg Doctrine as well, chosen for Noggano, which is an interesting one. It gives him, of course, Panzer Tactician Smoke, tactical movement, which is really useful, reconnaissance overflight, which is equally good. But most of all, in this situation, the Stuka close air support could be the get out of jail free card that he needs.
He still is about 100 munitions away from that, though. So he better hope he can store up enough for this big push that's imminent. There is a Panzer IV that has just been made, and that's absolutely going to be another very useful set piece to be able to defend against a major push from VonIvan. We sort of have both armies reaching critical mass.
Oh god. There is actually a Centaur as the 5th vehicle out for VonIvan, so interestingly, exactly, so he's gone for the infantry wiping capabilities of the Centaur, which is extremely potent, and will also be a great anti-air ability in the fall balance patch. So the anti-air capability of the Centaur have been buffed.
That is
there you go, and the squad wiping
A.
abilities are still good. Oh, however, the Sturmgeschütz and the Pack 40 open up against Centaur. It's got to get behind the garrison. It just about ekes behind. The Sturmgeschützes are on the chase. Elsewhere,
Saved
the Cromwells
by
are
the bell.
going in. This might not be saved by the bell. They're both going in again. Pack 40 takes out one. The other one could be taken out.
He's trying to get around 2 major tanks, though, staring at his face. The Stug is probably going to go down. There goes one German tank. The pack is still in great position to take a long shot at the Cromwell, and it goes down. And absolutely coming out on top is Noggano. Maybe not so soon.
Maybe not so soon, because this Sturmgeschütz could be getting taken out as well. So that's an incredible trade here. He's pushing in with the Vetsu Cromwell, loses the other one at the same time due to the Pack 40 wielding round.
And that is how the chips fall. We have all of the British
Holy
armor
shit.
completely decimated, and the hero of the day is absolutely these two pack guns, both sitting at a very, very haughty double vet, killing all of those tanks, absolutely rotating and very well macroed by
You
Noggano,
saw
and
the dive on the
it.
battlefield. Here you go, you see the dive in the population, the army value. VonIvan's taken double the hit Noggano just took. Two Sturmgeschütz are definitely not worth 4 Cromwells and an Achilles Centaur. It was a big trade, and not too sure that it was worth it for VonIvan.
Yeah, and going out in a blaze of glory. We even had a Royal Engineer squad go out in a big explosion of fire. Really a close attempt. I feel like Von just wasn't ready. He had all the pieces. He thought that the push from that tank was going to be what he needed, and he was just uncomfortably thrust to a really big fight that I don't think he had a chance of winning.
Yeah, to be honest, he definitely needed the land mattress to make that viable. The land mattress, if you don't know, is 40 fuel, 350 manpower. He had full access to it. If he hadn't built the Achilles, he could have planted it here. He could have attacked either the packs here if they were there. He could have attacked the packs there. It would have taken out Tower Mines. Land mattress, where were you? VonIvan, if you're watching this back, and you want to know what you could have done differently, rocket artillery would have been your best friend in this situation.
Definitely. The Scourge of Packs, that would have been an excellent added component. I don't think the Centaur really contributed too much.
Well, it did great. It went into the middle of the battlefield, ate 5 anti-tank shots, hid behind a building, and then got taken out by a Stug.
Yeah, and you know, another thing, he did have 4 Cromwells, and there was at one point just 1 or 2 Stugs on the field. He maybe was a little bit too patient and could have maybe gone in, got rid of maybe 1 or 2 Stugs, because there was really too much of an armor disadvantage at the outset of that major fight. And all of his Cromwells weren't together. They were in separate places. The Stugs and the Panzer IV were in just such great synergy. And now we got a command Panzer. So it's really hard to come back from something like that.
It really is. The command Panzer's going to be such a manpower attrition brute. He definitely has enough 80. So he's got this kind of Brumbear-esque profile on the command Panzer IV, and it's just able to just demolish your support weapons, your infantry. Not that there are any, but, you know. And VonIvan's now doing Paula-esque maneuvers. So that's a PEM. That's what we call it, if we're being euphemistic.
Yeah.
You get what I'm getting at.
He's got the tactics. I do understand. And I don't know. He has enough fuel also to be able to afford something. Maybe he could even save up and get a Comet.
Or Firefly. I was thinking Firefly, you know. But a 6-pounder would have been a better choice in the meantime, just to keep the forces at bay. He has no anti-tank at the moment, just 5 Royal Engineer squads with 2 with Piats, not currently in position. And a Tommy, which does have Piats as well. But he's going to have to group them to really be able to push a single tank away.
Yeah, and he's got about as many Grenadiers with LMGs on the field as there are cookies in the cookie jar. He's absolutely looking strong on infantry. And, yeah, Piats aren't going to be able to do it.
There is a triple cap against him as well. He's losing a victory point every single second. That's right, you have 3 minutes and 18 seconds left if he does not capture a victory point.
And they go fast. He's not really going for the VP's snipers. He's got Grens. He's even got a bunker overlooking that central victory point. It's just looking like it might be GG. Well, it probably is GG. Even dropped a Piat over on the left turn fuel point. I assume maybe a Royal Engineer went down, or just maybe a unlucky, I suppose, drop there. Yeah, Noggano playing really great this whole tournament, showing that he absolutely would have been an incredible contender in the GCS tournament.
Yeah, he would have been. It's just a shame that, you know, international tensions are what they are. I mean, I don't really care about the threat of nuclear war or anything like that. I care about the best players not being able to play in my tournaments.
Priorities.
Priorities, yeah. And this is definitely. I mean, we can start to digest what we've seen today, Ashman. FBP, has it really influenced proceedings very much for you, or has it been more of the same?
Well, there was that moment where that Tiger could have come out a lot sooner and been the death knell. It didn't quite happen. Full retreat of all of those lovely. What would you say? What's a little phrase for British people? Tories.
No, that'd be the Conservative right. If it's a British line of people, it's called a queue. We invented it. So
that's right. It's got the weird Q and U's and E's and more.
Well, the easy way to think of it is the letters are lining up. So Q, U, E, U, E, all the letters are in a line to get to the Q, which is the Q bit. And we invented it and we're the best at it. If you've seen the movie, oh God, he's going for the crush with the Panzerfears. They're going to go in. Noggano with the expert game sense. There are only Piats against him. And here comes the MG from the bunker.
Man, we are witnessing some Soviet tactics from our American player.
Oh God, it's terrible.
Wow! I thought that was a blaze of glory. There's flamers popping everywhere. The man was so.
That's it, and the Panzerfear command tanks here to polish off these squads. Oh God, the humanity! They're getting destroyed. VonIvan now has 2 men left. These 2 men are.
There's a Cromwell teching. AE, there might be a chance.
He now has no units. Well, it's 2 men left, just about. They're hiding. Hide, VonIvan, hide! Oh God, he's dead! He has nothing left! Oh Lord!
Jimmy was never that good at tag and
my children! My children, camouflage!
And the noose has been fully tightened. Vaughn is hanging in the wind, poor guy.
Noggano, it's gonna get sent to the Hague for war crimes.
Maybe there can be a bug splat to save him and go to an extra tiebreaker.
Let's not go there.
Yeah.
Where's the savior of the Brits? This Cromwell has been trained on the fields of Bovington for years. He's a true tank ace.
I was kind of hoping that the Panzer IVs would like prioritize the command post and maybe prevent the Cromwell from coming out, just crushing the soul of poor Vaughn. But you know, we might be treated to a last minute RNG.
Oh, he's having a look. Bloody hell! There seems to be bloody loads of them. Reverse! Get out of there!
He's actually doing pretty good. This vanilla comet.
Go on, Cromwell. Oh, it is a comet, by the way. Sorry, I've been calling it a Cromwell.
I just noticed that.
It's a comet.
And it's gonna get it. I think maybe 1 tank. He's going out.
Go on, comet.
Fully taking him out, but no dice. Poor guy. Well, GG. Well played. Absolutely.
All right then. So there we go. That was the very first episode of Factional Showdown. How did you like it, Ashman? Did you enjoy yourself today?
I loved it, man. This was fun, and I was expecting a little bit of a non-contest, a no contest for this last game, and Vaughn pulled it out, showing that he did have a little bit of grit buried deep within him to pull out a faction he's not used to. That's Vaughn for you. We all had a little bit of a showdown at the end at our Factional Showdown. I'm very happy with it.
Definitely. I mean, let's see if VonIvan wants to do some streaming for us. Let's maybe he can talk about what his games.
Yeah, and thank you to the 227 people that turned up. It's been a very fun little impromptu mini tournament. Exactly what we love to see.
Absolutely. So just see if VonIvan's ready, if he wants to do some streaming, and if not. But in general, so thank you to watching, everybody. If you want to see more of this stuff, yeah, chuck us a couple of dollars on Patreon. It'd be much appreciated. I think the next episode of this might actually be on Friday evening. That's right, Friday evening. And it may emanate from somewhere that's not my house. I may indeed be going for a drinking session at my good friend Daniel's house, which is better known as Stormless. So it might be an excellent opportunity to get the second episode of this bad boy done and dusted. But big thanks to Ashman. I look forward to casting with you, sir, in the future. You are a pleasure to cast with. You're an absolute legend.
Oh, likewise, man. And I said it earlier, really appreciate these tournaments. I think that they're exactly what this community lives and breathes on. And I don't know, it's fun. This has been a much more extraordinary Sunday than it would have been without you. So thank you very much.
And I think we'll have to return the favour to Mr. Hans. Let me just have a look one moment. Hang on. He's probably streaming. He did give us the boost earlier. I think he didn't realise we were on. I'll see if he wants to play. He is in Foxhole right now. What were you going to say, sir?
I was just going to say there was also a point that you brought up earlier that donating and becoming a patron is one of the get to for the next factional showdowns factions. So today we saw Vermac versus Brits. Maybe choose something a little bit different, something spicy. Maybe give us something that will take advantage of the new balance preview that's coming this fall. So go ahead and give that a thought.
Absolutely. So the options we have available left are, of course, let me bring this up. I'll show you how the Patreon works. Hang on a second, lads. There it is. There's my noggin. So how this baby works is, of course, you don't have to, but you can. You can put a couple of quid in, and it helps fund these little tiny events, and it leads to good things. It's good stuff. At the moment, we've got a poll on the go, and it's quite tight, actually. We've had 6 of the patrons of the Patreon vote in the lead. Right? Who do you reckon's leading? You can't see, can you, Ashman? But who do you reckon would be winning?
I can. We see USF versus OKW with 3 votes, which is actually taking it away. I think that would be a great matchup. I mean, I am biased. I love USF, and USF versus OKW is absolutely one of my bread and butter matchups.
Oh, me too. It's good to see a bit of that WFA faction. So we have had a patron come in. His name's Oscar. So big thanks to you, my friend.
Thanks, Oscar.
And just only need a small amount of money. You can make little tiny events like this happen. It's really cool.
Absolutely. And to Mabo40, yeah, I'm Ash, man. Just a little KO2 caster. I do some stuff at a little channel called the KO2 Cabana. If you all feel like watching some other quality streams like AE here and Stormless, you can see me every once in a while impromptu just kind of showing up. And I don't know. I love this community. I love this game.
Yeah, me too. I genuinely do. It's just so awesome. It's given me... how many years I've been playing it? Since like 2011 properly. I always dabbled before that, but 6 years, and I got it. I think my friend gifted me KO 1 in Steam, and then KO 2. I got the collector's edition for my sins, and here we go. So, but big well done to Noggano today. Big well done to the Third Reich. I think they have a lot of plans for us, and they've won 5-0 today, so that's great. No Brits, no plucky Brits saving the day. They were crushed mercilessly under the jackboots of the Axis, so there you go. If you want to see a little bit of a new style of game, there's a game called Foxhole. It isn't KO 2. Helping Hands... once he saw that I was streaming with this tournament, he very gallantly stopped streaming and gave me the host. I didn't even ask him to. I just assumed that's what he's done. So I'm going to give him the rehost now. So there you go. Go over to his channel and watch a bit of Foxhole. But thanks for your support today, and thanks for coming out and watching. And thanks for co-casting, Ashman.
Absolutely, guys. Have a good one.
See ya. Bye-bye. Yeah, cheers for that, mate. Nice one.
Hey,
yeah, I thought that went well. And always appreciate